little bit at the Olympic trials.
Of course.
So it's wild. It's good morning.
Yes, absolutely. Well, coming up on the program today, in terms of guests, the great Eddie Steele, who is in the news again this week. His comments on this program got him turfed from 630 Ched, the radio voice of the Edmonton Elks. And we're wondering, since he was proven to be right this week, will he be getting a job opportunity from the Elks and Ched again? We'll talk to Eddie about that. And from CHCH Hamilton, the hometown of the 2021 Grey Cup, Clint Bubba O'Neil will be joining us to talk some football, both CFL and NFL variety, and probably U Sports too. But Director Jordan, if you don't mind, can you hit the Quick Six show horn, please? By the way, we do have a little bit of something for everybody here in the Quick Six, but I got to start with Thanksgiving, United States Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, NFL tripleheader. Here are the games. Daniel Carlson kicked a 29-yard field goal in overtime after Anthony Brown's fourth pass interference penalty kept the drive alive. And the Las Vegas Raiders rode out of Dallas with a 36-33 victory in the middle game of the tripleheader. Carlson's fifth field goal came after Brown was called for interference on Zay Jones on 3rd and 18. Did you know, Moose, that all four of Brown's interference penalties came on third down incompletions? Just wanted to point that out. Raiders now 6-5.
Exactly what they were doing.
Okay. Oh, you have some thoughts, huh? Ended a 3-game losing streak with their first Thanksgiving victory since 1968. It was their fourth appearance on the holiday since then, with the previous two being losses at the Dallas Cowboys. So you obviously watched the game, as did I. I watched it at Dodge City, by the way. And they were expecting me to freak out on the officiating, just like all the Cowboys did. I don't assume you saw Jarrah after the game. And he goes, I don't have a problem with the rules. I have a problem with the interpretation of the rules, said Jarrah. Come on, Jerry. Now, Dak Prescott, who I thought had a tremendous game, particularly in the fourth quarter, came out afterwards and said, we can't leave the game in the officials' hands. We got to play better, complimentary football, tone down the penalty. They had 14 penalties. So you could talk to me about Anthony Brown, and maybe he was targeted by the Raiders and vis-a-vis the officials. But this is my take, as I said to Brian Dodge, the mayor of Dodge City. They're not a Super Bowl champion team because they can't get their act together on the same day, all at the same time. They score 43 points one week and a 43-3 win over Atlanta, and then the next week go into Kansas City and you can't score a touchdown and have to kick 3 field goals. They can't show up on the same day, all aspects of their game. They're not a Super Bowl champion now. But as I said, they're going to win the division. They're going to get Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb back healthy. DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory, they're 2 stud DNs. And the Cowboys will be fine. But they got some things to clear up here between now and then. You have obviously a take on the way this game finished.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate. It's, I watched it between the draws here at the Olympic trials, and when it's going to overtime, I'm watching it in my ride to the curling game. It was on my phone on those 3rd and long when you're going after the same guy. When you're looking at slant passes, curl routes, those are always often really tough, and they're tough, to complete sometimes. And there's a chance of disaster being picked up. But when you go deep on those 3rd and longs, you're kind of taking your shot, and there's a really good chance your player's going to come down with it because you can beat a guy straight away with speed. But there's also a chance that you're going to get that penalty, and you're not even that worried about the incompletion. And so when you find out this guy's been prone to the pass interference because he's worried about getting beat deep, then you go back to him and you get another one. Well, when it's the 4th time, Dallas has to know that they're probably going to target the same guy. It's worked 3 times before. And sure enough, the 4th time, it ends up being the one that cost them the game for good. But no, Dallas battled back a few times in that football game and looked pretty good despite being, dealing with the injuries they're dealing with. But that's just so unfortunate. And it's tough because you're not making contact with the receiver all the time. But if you're getting in his way and you're not turning around to actually play the football, that's probably where Jerry's coming from. But that's the rules. That's the penalty.
Yeah, they weren't clear-cut pass interference penalties. And I'm with Jerry on that. No. But again, I'm with Dak. Let's not leave this in the officials' hands. Let's not take 14 penalties overall. So I was actually impressed with Dak in his post-game comments. Anyways, moving on, because there were two other games. Josh Allen passed for 260 yards and 4 touchdowns as Buffalo sent injury-ravaged New Orleans to its 4th straight loss, 31-6. And in Detroit, Cairo Santos made a 28-yard field goal on the final play to lift Chicago past Detroit. 16-14, the Bears snapped a 5-game losing streak under embattled coach Matt Nagy, who was answering questions about his job status less than 48 hours before kickoff. How about that one? Chicago wins. They were favored by 3. They won by 2. How about that? Moving on here in the quick six.
Remember when Detroit took the, was up by 7 yesterday, and we're doing this show, and you said, Chicago's favored by 3. Are you taking the deal? And we still weren't. It ended up that we just got lucky enough that Chicago didn't win by 3.
Between two bad teams, had a very interesting ending. I'm going to throw you a curveball on point 2 of the quick 6 show topics. And by the way, the rest of the show today will be football. The warm-up is for other sports. The Canadian Elite Basketball League, in partnership with Deakin Sports and Entertainment, have announced that they're expanding to St. John's, Newfoundland, beginning next season, 2022. The addition of the Newfoundland Growlers Pro Basketball Club completes the 3rd round of expansion since Canada's only first division professional league began play with 6-member clubs in 2019. Now with 10 teams, that makes the CEBL, Darren, the largest pro sports league in Canada. And I had to look this up. I've got friends with the Growlers organization in DSE. That's the sports conglomerate that owns them. They're the parent company of the Newfoundland Growlers of the East Coast Hockey League, which is affiliated with the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Trois-Rivières Lions, affiliated of the Montreal Canadiens, and the Iowa Heartlanders, also of the ECHL. DSE's charitable arm, Growlers Give, has donated approximately $500,000 directly back into the community through partnerships with numerous community groups in Newfoundland. We are Canada's daytime sports talk show, and I thought we had to spend a minute on this because I don't like the name Growlers for the basketball team. Remember a couple years ago, the hockey team sent me a golf shirt. One of their equipment guys, helpers, Lee, sent me the golf shirt, and it's like you got 2 teams under the same umbrella of ownership with the same name. I'm sorry. I love the Newfoundland Growlers outfit. Find another name. Call them the Puppies if you have to, because you know why. It's like, I just got a job with the Growlers. Oh, really? His or her friends say, the hockey team or the basketball team? The basketball team. Or I'm going to the Growlers game Saturday night. Oh, the hockey or the basketball? Well, I thought hockey. Let me check my app and see if I bought tickets to the right. Why would you name 2 teams under the same conglomerate by one name?
My first thought was the Growlers. Wait. There is an East Coast League hockey team named the Growlers, right? And then, I remember them sending the merchandise. I'm like, Rod, this isn't new. They announced the Growlers before because they sent you merchandise, right? I was a little confused. But as you're sitting there, I try and see, the world from 360 degrees, and I try and understand, where the world's going. We talk about the CFL and the NFL now competing against each other because of access, right? So when you're trying to market a program, I get it. But if it's under the same name, maybe it's a little bit of that strategy of trying to go the college sports feel. So, when you're in a market, it's tough to have the Flyers or the Penguins and the Steelers and the Pirates and the whatever. And what are we doing here? No, we're just Pittsburgh fans. So let's name them all the same. Kind of like here in Saskatoon, the Huskies. All the teams of the Huskies. So we always are just wear our Husky pride.
That's a reach.
So maybe that can work with right, but it can work in smaller communities and smaller leagues. I don't know if it works for the CEBL because I think they're trending to try and become a bigger league and a big part of the Canadian culture.
Maybe we can get their people on. They've actually offered to put their owner on. We'll put a bug in producer Clark's ear to maybe get some people on from the Newfoundland Growlers, but I don't know if that will be the hockey team or the basketball team. You get what I'm saying. Moving on.
I do.
Point 3, Tim Horton's Olympic curling trials. And our coverage, of course, is brought to you by the Delta Marriott downtown Saskatoon. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm, and Great Western's Original 16 beer. Tracy Fleury is one win away from securing her spot at the Beijing Olympics. She booked her playoff ticket with an 11-7 win over Laura Walker at Canada's Olympic curling trials in Saskatoon on Thursday, then secured the first seed and a bye into Sunday's final with a 10-3 rout of Casey Scheidegger in the evening draw. Brad Gushue has clinched a playoff spot on the men's side. The men are on the ice now. I've been watching it this morning on TSN. Moose, you're our man on the ground, boots on the ground in Saskatoon. What do our viewers need to know about the curling trials as we enter playoff weekend?
Well, it's looking really good for Brad Gushue. The big game last night was Brad Jacobs beating Kevin Cooey, and that gave Jacobs sole possession of second place, and an opportunity potentially to catch Brad if you get a win situation from Jacobs and a loss from Gushue. But Kevin Cooey's trying to secure that third spot and get into the playoffs. So the heavy hitters are there. As the dust is settling at the end of the week, going into the weekend. The heavy hitters are there. Brennan Bottcher's not. A disappointing week for Brennan Bottcher. He'll miss, the defending Brier champ. Disappointing week for Matt Dunstone. He'll miss. But the guys who we thought were going to be there at the end are there. And on the women's side, Tracy Fleury. She just had her way last night and looks like she is head and shoulders the best team on the women's side, although Jennifer Jones would have something to say about that. And Harry Einerson would have something to say about that too. So it's going to be a really fun weekend. But the teams that we thought might be there at the end are, which has been a lot of fun. And there were some fun games last night on the women's side of teams that aren't going to be there. Laura Walker played really well. I've loved watching her rink play. Wish they would have had a little bit of a better week, but no, it's been great. But it's going to get really serious by the end of the day today and leading into the semis tomorrow.
Thank you for that. By the way, this is a FlameTech Football Friday. FlameTech's your locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. And this little thing we do here is called the warm-up, brought to you by eCole Electric. Come see our sales staff and in-house specialists for your electrical needs. This is a teaser because the next segment is going to be all football. And here's a teaser on it. A couple things. One, our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is who will win Sunday's CFL Eastern Semi-Finals? And I know this is a bit of a brain tease for the way it's worded, but your options for anybody watching on YouTube right now would have seen it and voting on Twitter are the home teams, the road teams, or a split. And as of us going to air, the home teams, both winning, leading the poll at 41%. Our voters think the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to beat Montreal on Sunday and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are going to beat the Calgary Stampeders. But I'm not going along with that. So we'll talk about that when we come back. We do have a body of work, at least enough voters for this CFL Coach of the Year argument that we had yesterday between Winnipeg's Mike O'Shea or Hamilton or Toronto's Ryan Dinwiddie. And it looks like if the voters, the actual ones, the Football Reporters of Canada, go by with like what our viewers say, it will be a landslide. Who will win the CFL Coach of the Year when they hand it out at the awards? Here, I'll let the cat out of the bag. Canadian University football semifinals this weekend. Huge games. We're going to talk about that. CFL Alumni Association coming out with a really intriguing announcement this morning about somebody that they're going to honor at their Legends Luncheon. And at a dinner party here last night in South Florida that I was at. You know how those dinner parties go?
Yes.
Guy came up to me, and his name was Dan. And he said, "Hey, so you were in the CFL for a long time, huh?" I said, "Yep." He goes, "What do you know this guy by the name of Carroll Williams?" I said, "No, but I looked him up, and the guy's got a hell of a story." And somehow the CFL historians and people that want to celebrate players miss this guy. And he's from here. So we're going to talk about it when we come back, okay? We'll be right back, broadcasting from South Florida. One half of the show, the Moose at the Delta Marriott, downtown Saskatoon. The other half, on the way, Eddie Steele and Bubba O'Neil. It's a FlameTech Football Friday you're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grade. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grade Systems a call today.
Your family needs a break. Delta Hotels Saskatoon welcomes you to our newly renovated hotel and water park. You deserve a vacation close to home. Enjoy world-class hospitality and upscale surroundings. Rediscover Saskatoon. You can enjoy time away from home right in your own city. The kids will love the water slide. Delta Hotels Saskatoon downtown. All the essentials and then some.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I'm proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It's a FlameTech Football Friday. We're coming at you live. Moose is in the lobby right inside there. Delta Marriott, downtown Saskatoon. Yours truly here in sunny South Florida, where I believe it'll get above 80 degrees Fahrenheit today. You see, I'm wearing my got the Dolphins gear on, Moose. Not wearing Cowboys today. I'm not happy with the Dallas Cowboys today. I wasn't going to bust that out.
No, but I noticed the long sleeves, though. The long sleeves. That's what I know. That's what I think about LA, and I've never been to Florida, but that was my thought in LA. The weather is so perfect all the time. You wear whatever you want and you're comfortable. You could wear short sleeves, shorts, long pants, doesn't matter.
People wear beachwear here 24/7. They even to get dressed up, they wear beachwear. Which reminds me of that dinner party last night, which I'll get to here momentarily. But just a couple from our viewers, questions and comments here. Adam Ridioff watching in Hamilton, because people didn't like the OT the way it was set up last night for the Cowboys and Raiders. I really don't care. I do think the CFL overtime is the best, but Adam in Hamilton says, I think the biggest advantage of the current overtime setup is that it limits the amount of extra playing time and therefore risk of injuries. I don't know. That's the one oddest thing to me about football, just versus hockey, which is my number one sport in my DNA. How the rules are so different from league to league to league in football, whereas in hockey, they're basically all the same. I don't get it. Makes it a lot easier in hockey to figure this stuff out. Anyways, and then the other one on the two teams in Newfoundland with the same name, the pro hockey team, the Growlers, and now the pro basketball team, the Growlers. Somebody's got to explain to me why this makes sense. But Craig Warden watching on YouTube says, kind of like in Europe, where all club teams across all sports have the same name. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, used to have the New York Giants of Major League Baseball and NFL, and the St. Louis Cardinals of Major League Baseball and NFL. We still have that. And it's still confusing to me. And to be honest, if I can just sidestep for a second, when the Vancouver Giants came out with their name when they announced it, whatever it was, 20 years ago, I'm like, the Giants? Really? You couldn't do something better than that? We've already got the New York Giants and the San Francisco Giants. Now we have a junior hockey team called the Giants. Of all the things you could have done. How about the Vancouver Lumberjacks? How about the Vancouver Loggers? But as usual, Moose, they don't consult me. Anyways, oh man, I could turn it loose to the viewers. I'm not ready to just yet do that. Although, you know, I love the viewers, and today we will be awarding the TacoTime Comment of the Week. We already have it picked. Well, maybe, unless there's a late one. Unless there's a late one coming in, Darren, there's a chance that the guy could be caught. But anyways, here's a CFL story for you. Hang on. Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events, has entered the chat. And he says, regarding our poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, who will win Sunday semifinals? He says, for the poll, I got to stick with my projections. He ran 10,000 simulations, computer simulated games. And he goes, Saskatchewan and Montreal will be in the division finals. And I'm going with Nelson because the guy knows his stuff. He's got Saskatchewan winning by, I think, 4. And Montreal, something like that. So I picked Saskatchewan and Montreal to win based on his simulations. Jennifer down at the Four Seasons says, I'm in my glory again today. Football all day yesterday and hockey all day today, starting at noon. And the Jets at 2:30. Listen, that's why I wasn't going to turn it loose on the viewers just yet and let them take over, Darren, because they'll it's like herding cats. As I said yesterday, they'll completely take over the show. Yeah. And we can't have that. We can't have that yet. So last night, I love these conversations, man, and they always happen in America. This guy by the name of Dan, and he's a grandpa, so they call him Danpa. How cool is that? He cool. Says, so you were in the CFL. Yeah, he's like, you were in the CFL for a long time, eh? And I'm like, yep. He goes, you ever hear of a guy by the name of Carroll Williams? And I said, I'm sorry, I haven't. And he goes, well, he went to my high school down here. He was a black quarterback. And went up and played the CFL for several years because he couldn't get an opportunity down here. Major stud quarterback, Carroll Williams. And I said, well, let's go to the big board. So we did. Look it up. Carroll Williams. Carroll Williams played with the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the BC Lions. I believe those were the teams. Might have been Montreal. But for 4 seasons in the late 60s. And I'm thinking, yeah, we've heard about the guys that they've honored. Obviously, Warren Moon, number 1. But what about Carroll Williams breaking the color barrier in the late 60s in the Canadian Football League? And we looked at, he's got a Wikipedia page, man. I'd like to consider myself a CFL historian as a fan as a kid, then worked in the league for a generation. I never heard of Carroll Williams. That's on me. And that's probably on the CFL too, that we don't even know who this guy is. He was breaking the color barrier before we even knew it was a thing to do. Look it up. I think I got it wrong. I think it was Montreal in BC. But 4 seasons, Darren, and Danpa said he was just a little ahead of me in high school, 4 or 5 years ahead of me. But he goes, but when I got into the high school, everybody knew about Carroll Williams. What a story, eh?
That's really cool. That's cool. And these are the stories that typically come out this time of year. You know, some of the history of the league, of the Grey Cup, you know, when you get into the playoffs and stuff.
Yes.
That's a neat story. I mean, love to hear more things like this. You know, Carroll Williams, a name I'd never heard of either. So this is the first time for me live here on the show. So I'm sitting back just soaking it up. And now I want to know more about him. I want to see some highlights.
I know. Well, there's a couple of Carroll Williams. There's 2. Here we go. Carroll Williams is a former American football quarterback who played 4 seasons in the Canadian Football League with the Montreal Alouettes and the BC Lions. So I got it wrong. Played college football at Xavier University, which is in Miami, and went to Archbishop Curley High School in Miami, Florida. So how about that? And I jumped out of order here with my points because our good friends at the CFL Alumni Association, with whom I've done a lot of work over the years, Leo Ezrins, their executive director, sending out a news release this morning, and he says the CFL Alumni Association is proud to announce it will be presenting the inaugural CFL AA Indigenous Champion Award at this year's Grey Cup Legends Luncheon, Friday, December the 10th at the End Zone Bar and Grill in Hamilton. While the CFL Alumni has traditionally presented the Alumni of the Year award, this year's edition of the CFL AA Indigenous Champion Award is in support of the CFL's Diversity is Strength strategy and truth and reconciliation initiatives. In this light, the award is intended to honor former Indigenous CFL players and current advocates of Indigenous participants as players or coaches in the game of football. CFL alumni is pleased to announce 2 outstanding co-recipients for this year's award. This was just announced Friday morning. Jim Stiers will be recognized posthumously. He'll be represented by his daughter, Eddie Stiers. He is from the Deer clan of the Cayuga Nation, born on the Six Nations Reserve in 1929. He started his football career with the Brantford Bison Football League, and then he played with the Hamilton Panthers and won a league championship in 1951. And Justin Shackle is from Tyendinaga, Mohawk territory. He was drafted by the Hamilton Tiger Cats in 2004 and would go on to coach minor football at various levels around the GTA. And sometimes I just sit there and go, like, bravo. I'd like to stand up out of my chair and give an ovation to the CFL alumni and Leo for doing this. And then on the other side, turn around and kick all our own asses and saying, why were we not doing this before? Because it just makes you feel good inside to recognize players like this. When you think about the barriers that they had to clear just to have the opportunities that guys like you and me had never thought twice of.
You're right. Never thought twice about it. This is a great initiative. I love it. And anytime that we can, you know, pay our tribute and respect the history of the league, that's what associations like the Alumni Association are here to do too. And I think that's great. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, you're right. I echo what you said. Bravo. Really cool thing to do.
Again, it is a FlameTech Football Friday, so I promised that we would spend the balance of the program on football today. We will get to our featured games later, by the way. And you'll be surprised with mine. So there you go. What? Say what? Oh,
no,
you said, okay.
Well, I can't now. I wasn't going to say anything, but just so I'm thinking when I have my time, are you talking featured on a Friday? Are we talking featured game tonight or weekend?
Well, for me, I'm talking about tonight. But
awesome.
From our viewers, John in Winnipeg says, is the Grey Cup sponsored by Shaw again? Jeff, the Stamps fan, responds and says, I can't see anything, John, saying they are, so maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. I thought I saw they had a new sponsor this year, but I don't know. But let's talk about the Canadian University Semi-Final games this weekend. The U of S Huskies are on the road, and I actually thought that you might be joining us today from Montreal, Moose. I thought that was going to happen because you know how much the U of S loves you and loves this show. Just tell our viewers about the Huskies getting ready for the Uteck Bowl.
Well, the invitation was offered by our friends at the University of Saskatchewan, but we were already committed to being here, so unfortunately couldn't go to Montreal to do our show from there ahead of the Uteck Bowl. But it's going to be great. I mean, I've got it in my calendar. I'm locked down tomorrow. I'm watching the Huskies and the Montreal Carabin. That's tomorrow afternoon. I think CBC's got the coverage of it. Montreal, the Carabin have been, enlisted as the number one team in the country. They're the betting favorites to win the Vanier Cup, but they got to get through Saskatchewan, who a lot of people think might actually be the number one team in the country. They're very good. They're very deep. Mason Nias is showing a little bit of veteran poise now in the playoff win in the Hardy Cup over Manitoba. It's going to be really fun, really, really fun. They're healthy. Colton Clausen and Adam Mackart are healthy and ready to roll. So, and their defense is big and nasty, and they're good, and they attack the football. They got all-stars all over the place. So I really am looking forward to this game, but Saskatchewan has a very good chance to get to a Vanier Cup, but that game is on Saturday.
Certainly looks that way. Mike in Toronto writes in and says, I don't know what the teams out in Canada West look like, boys, but that Western team is a juggernaut. Good luck. Ooh, they might be on a collision course.
Well,
John
that would
Kirby.
be fun because 2 years ago when Saskatchewan got to the semifinal, it was against Western, and they lost. So Saskatchewan, Western, and a Vanier Cup would be fun.
Get the sound effects ready, boys. John Kirby. Have you seen this comment, Moose? Writes in. Breaking news. Canadian Elite Basketball League adds Newfoundland Growlers as 10th franchise.
Hot take.
You're only 30 minutes late on that one, Johnny boy.
Oh, no.
Moose, we'll talk to you next hour, okay?
See you guys.
I got a steal of a deal for you coming up next. Our good friend, Eddie Steele, going to talk about the Edmonton Elks and other CFL items. When we return, it is a FlameTech Football Friday. You are watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics, Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, we're coming at you live. A beautiful Friday. FlameTech Football Friday, to be exact. We're in sunny South Florida. We've given Moose a couple of segments off. We were talking about, hey, listen, we're going to get into this later on more deeply. I was talking about Carroll Williams, black quarterback from here, this region, playing in the CFL in the late 60s. Phil Kershaw writing in, the former chairman of the CFL Board of Governors and president of both Rough Riders teams, Ottawa and Saskatchewan. He says, no disrespect to Carroll Williams, but Bernie Custis broke the color barrier with the Ticats in 1951. I think any black quarterbacks at the time were breaking color barrier, but that's just me. I'm very happy to shed some light on Carroll Williams, a guy that, again, maybe he should have had more light shed on him. But I don't think it's a contest. Anyways, let's bring in our good friend Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion, 9-year CFL veteran, looking fresh as always. How you doing, Eddie? Seems like it's been an interesting week for you.
I'm doing really well. It has been. It's been an interesting month and a half since I last saw you.
That's right. And listen, Eddie, everybody knows the story. You came on this show. You torched the general manager of the Elks, Brock Sunderland. Days later, you were relieved of your duties at the 630 CHED, the radio rights holder of the Elks. And then on Monday, Brock Sunderland was shown the door along with a couple other Elks executives. My number one question for you is why were the media beating your door down for interviews this week?
Essentially because, what I said was the truth. And they just, it was more of a vindicating moment in time for me. And they just wanted to kind of get my opinion on the firing, which I think everybody already knew my opinion. And just to talk a little bit of playoff football, because we're entering that exciting time of the year right now.
Well, be honest with me. Tell me what you thought when you saw the news come down Monday morning that this move had been made.
I never was calling for Brock's job in the beginning of this all. Like, I was just pointing the criticism his way. You don't want to see people get fired. You and I have both been victims of getting fired for different reasons and different jobs. I've been cut, and, it sucks. You don't want to see people be out of a job. But in terms of my feelings, it was kind of like, yeah, duh. I mean, you look at the product on field, and since Brock was the general manager, since he took over and inherited an Ed Hervey-created team, the team record has gotten worse and worse year after year. So that in itself, it pro football, you got to win games. We're in the business of winning. As contrary to what Len Rhodes once famously said, we're in the business of winning football games. That's what pro football is about. So when you're not producing and winning football games, then you're showed the door.
What did Len Rhodes say, by the way? I missed that quote. What did Len Rhodes say?
Oh, it was when Ed Hervey got fired. In Len Rhodes' press conference, he said, pro football is more than about winning games. And that's a famous quote of his. And this is it coming off of a Grey Cup and, having successful seasons and taking a team that when I first got to the team in 2013, we went 4-16, or maybe 5, but it was 5-7 or 5-14 or 15. Sorry, bad math. Nonetheless, we won 4 or 5 games, and he turned that around, and we had a successful 2014. Capped it off with a Grey Cup in 15. Had a pretty successful 2016, and ended up showing Ed Hervey the door.
Right. Well, Len Rhodes, not in football anymore, certainly not running sports teams. So Lombardi had it right. Winning isn't everything. It is the only thing, Eddie, as you and I know. Now, listen, spill the tea, man. You said you had a job opportunity. You going to divulge it today?
I'm going to hold off until next week, but next week it's everybody will hear. But it's a cool opportunity, a big opportunity, something that I didn't see coming down the pipeline exactly. But it's a pretty huge opportunity, so I'm really excited about it.
Good for you, Eddie. You deserve it. I'm proud of you. So where Edmonton goes from here, I mean, you played for the Ticats, the Riders, and the Eskimos, but I think you're an Eskimo at heart. You won a championship with them. So you're watching this situation really closely. Where do you think they should go from here?
That's a good question. And people have asked me that. It's hard to put your finger on it. I do know in terms of the president, they need someone who is in tune and in touch with what, not just CFL football, but the community of Edmonton. Because with the past president, they brought in an American, and I don't think he was that in tune with the community relations. Just maybe he's great business side of it, but in terms of what the community really needs and wants and desires out of an organization, especially a community-run organization, I think they need someone. It doesn't have to be an alumni. It doesn't have to be, someone who's exactly from Edmonton per se, but they need someone who understands that relationship between the community and the organization, because that's what's really suffering right now. I do tons of traveling. I talk to so many season ticket holders in small little communities and pockets around the province, and they're very frustrated with how they've been treated, how their voice hasn't been heard, and quite honestly, the season ticket holders are the ones who pay the wages of most people in the organization. It's a community gate-driven league, and you need to look after them first and foremost. So I think it's going to be very crucial that they bring in a president who is in tune and in touch with the community of Edmonton to a degree and understands how important that relationship is.
Very, very well said, Eddie. I knew that you'd be good at this media game if you really wanted to do it. I think that's all I had on the Elks. Who do you have winning the division semifinals this weekend?
I got Calgary, and I think Montreal is going to go into Hamilton and do it. I think
you're going to have to tell me why. You're going to stop. Tell me why.
I brushed over that quickly.
Yes, you did.
Calgary is. They're a well-oiled machine. This year hasn't been their year in the regular season, but they're A, very well coached. We all know that. B, Bo Levi Mitchell, yes, I've harped on him throughout the year, but he's got a huge weapon coming back in Reggie Begelton, and I think he's a little banged up, but I think he'll be good to go for the game. They have a good defense, and, in all honesty, Rod, lots of boys on the Riders and lots of buddies, but I have never been completely sold on the Cody Fajardo show. And I was just listening to a stat this morning on the radio as I was driving for work, and he has completed 3 of 38 deep balls that are 30 yards or more. He's got the worst deep ball percentage. And not saying you need to live or die by the deep ball, but you need to have that threat. Duke Williams presents a really good threat, but you can't just run the rock with Powell and then chuck it deep. They need to have some sort of resemblance of an efficient offense. Shaq's got to get going, but he's been visibly frustrated. I know he's been banged up all year, but you can see he's frustrated. Their O-line is pretty porous, you know. Sorry to my boy Dan Clark, but they're a pretty porous unit right now. And in the game is won and lost in the trenches, especially in the playoffs. And I think Calgary's going to be better suited. Yes, Sask has a great D-line. So unless they're causing complete havoc for Bo Levi, yeah, they could be in the game. But I think the Calgary is a little more well-polished and a little more prepared for this moment.
Love it, Eddie. Love it. That's why, like I said, you're so great at this. You are the best. Mandy is watching. Mandy Glass in Edmonton. She says, please say hi and send my well wishes to Eddie and my family and his family from Mandy in Edmonton. And I really appreciate his CFL insight. Thank you. So, Eddie, we'll let you run. Have a great weekend. And as you see, everything always works out for the best.
Yeah, and stay tuned next week, Rod. I think you'll be happy for me.
Awesome. No, I will. Eddie Steele joining us from the City of Champions, our Edmonton correspondent. I got a great story about Eddie coming up next. Has to do with my pizza restaurant. And viewer takeover right after this break. You're watching the RP Show of FlameTech Football Friday on YouTube Live, Game Plus TV, and 24-hour sports radio, rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Your family needs a break. Delta Hotels Saskatoon welcomes you to our newly renovated hotel and water park. You deserve a vacation close to home. Enjoy world-class hospitality and upscale surroundings. Rediscover Saskatoon. You can enjoy time away from home right in your own city. The kids will love the water slide. Delta Hotels Saskatoon downtown. All the essentials and then some.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Safety is a primary pillar at Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Okay, we are live. Taco Time viewer takeover segment. Let's get to the viewers now. I thought I could shake it out of Eddie. I really thought I could. What his big job opportunity is next week, but not happening. Not yet, I guess. Taco Time viewer takeover. We're not announcing this week's winner of the $50 gift card just yet. We're going to do that next hour. Did you know that Taco Time has been around for over 40 years in Canada? This iconic brand, a Canadian favorite, serves over 3.2 million burritos, 2.5 million tacos, and over 1 million Mexi fries every year.
Spicy.
They're going to serve some. Yeah, they're going to serve some to you, aren't they? Today for lunch or supper or this weekend. There is a Taco Time in Miami, I've learned. So I will be checking that out ASAP.
Oh, good one, Rod.
I'm jumping into the comment section at my own peril. I have not had the opportunity to edit these in my own mind. Funny one from Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York. He says, I just hope all 4 teams have fun. Talking about this weekend's CFL Division Semi-Finals. How about Len Rhodes, the former president of the Edmonton Eskimos, who said there's more to pro football than winning games. Really? Enlighten us, Len. Really? But I've always often thought that the end of Len Rhodes' time started when the Saskatchewan Roughriders went in and stole his entire coaching staff from right under his nose. I won't go any further than that, but that was the end of the Edmonton Eskimos. They just won the Grey Cup. They seem to be doing fine, right? And then your top rival comes in, steals all your coaching staff, and Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
Exactly. Sports update here. Florida Panthers general manager Bill Zito announced today that the club has re-signed forward Ryan Lomberg to a 2-year contract extension. The 5'9", 187-pound native of Richmond Hill, Ontario, led the Panthers with 67 penalty minutes in last year's abbreviated season. 5'9", 187 led the Panthers in penalty minutes. Let that sink in. Scored his first career playoff goal in overtime at Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs against Tampa. How are we doing for time, Clark? Surging Toronto Maple Leafs are in San Jose to take on the Sharks in NHL play tonight. The Leafs have won 7 of their last 8, enter the contest in second place in the Atlantic. Sharks have just 4 wins over their last 10. Winnipeg Jets are in St. Paul, Minnesota today for an afternoon date with the Wild. Mini enters the game sitting atop the Central. Third place Jets have lost 4 in a row. Struggling Vancouver Canucks are in Columbus tonight. Vancouver has just 2 wins in their last 10. The NBA's Toronto Raptors finish off a 6-game road trip when they face the Indiana Pacers tonight. If the playoffs started today, neither one of those teams would be in them. Raps at Pacers tonight. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. Book your group or business Christmas party now. Last minute of play in hour 1. Also brought to you by the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, where you'll never need to ask to get the CFL games put on. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Funny story about Eddie Steele, and I don't think it matters now. People like us tend to find each other in life. And when I was going through my time at the end with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, I was working in my pizza restaurant because I was working 3 jobs at the time. And Eddie came in to see me, and I said, Eddie, I'm not supposed to be talking to you. I'm not supposed to be talking to any of the Rough Riders. I was working behind the bar like Sam Malone in Cheers. Eddie, belly up to the bar, sits down, orders a pizza, and he's like, I don't care. There's something I want to talk to you about. We might kick that around next hour. What that was about, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But we stayed good friends, and as we say, things always work out for the best. Hour 2 coming up with the Moose right after this.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
The Regina Pats got an exciting last-second goal from Connor Bedard, and I see the summary, and I'm like, 4:59? Of course it is. That means he scored with 1 second to go in overtime. The kid just has the flair for that kind of stuff. The dynamics, the chutzpah, the pizzazz. He has it, Darren. And the more you dump that kind of crap on him, the more he rises to the occasion.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Two different environs, one show. On the left, sunny and beautiful South Florida. On the right, sunny and beautiful downtown Saskatoon. That's where the RP show originates from today, both locations. As we head into the playoff weekend at the Tim Hortons Canadian Olympic Curling Trials, And me getting ready for a big weekend of football down here. The Dolphins home to the Carolina Panthers. And, of course, CFL Division Semi-Finals this weekend as we bring the Moose back in, Darren DuPont. And, of course, our curling coverage. That's why you're there. Brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm, for Great Western Original 16 beer, which also brings you hour 2 of the RP show, and the Delta Marriott downtown Saskatoon. Moose, again, before we delve into the hot topics of what's come up on this show, because it's a FlameTech Football Friday, tell the viewers what they need to know, please, about the curling trials today in Saskatoon.
Well, it's awesome. You know, the curling trials continue. The men were on the ice this morning. Should be wrapping up here shortly, if it's not already. The women will be on the ice at 2 o'clock, and then the men in the late draw again tonight. It's coming right down to the wire. Brad Gushue's into the final, or into the playoff. I believe he needs to still win one to clinch to get straight through to the final. But Kevin Cooey, Brad Jacobs, they're right there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And on the women's side, Tracy Fleury, Jennifer Jones, they've been really good. Carrie Einerson, been very good. Another win last night. Tough weeks. Rachel Holman had a really tough week. Brennan Botcher had a tough week. Of course, Matt Dunstone, we know about that. But overall, it's been a fantastic week of curling. The crowds have been phenomenal. They're loud. It's a cool atmosphere. Wonderful for the city. And the weekend is when it's going to get really hot.
Absolutely. Playoff time, of course. I'm going to jump into comments from the viewers here. Little later on this hour, we'll be awarding our TacoTime comment of the week. I don't know if you were listening last hour when I said I have located a TacoTime in Miami. Just so you know, Darren. So I'll be checking it out. Jeff Caldwell's watching in Redmond, Oregon. And he says, my featured game would usually be the Apple Cup. Washington State, for those that don't know. He says, but this year, both teams fired their coaches midseason, making for a far less than exciting game. He writes on the 902 text line, hey, I want to say this. It's U.S. Thanksgiving weekend. For years and years and years, I would be spending this weekend on the West Coast with the Regina Pats every second year in America. And I remember one time walking down a street in downtown Spokane. Jeff Caldwell would remember this, would know this street, Division Street in downtown Spokane. And the Apple Cup was, I can't remember where it was being played. If it was in Pullman or Washington, it doesn't matter. Or Seattle, I mean. They were cooking a pig, Darren, on the street out front of a bar called Fast Eddie's on a Saturday morning. And I'm like, I don't want to do hockey tonight. I want to stay and watch this football game. The Apple Cup. They really do it right, don't they?
So great. That's so great. You know, and speaking of that, like this weekend is just absolutely tremendous. It started yesterday. I mean, the weekend really started yesterday with U.S. Thanksgiving. But Canadian and American sports, it is outstanding. I mean, Thursday you get the NFL games. The curling trials continue today, and there's some good hockey games throughout the weekend too. But then you got the curling trial playoffs. You've got the CFL playoffs happening. You've got Canada West, or university sports, I guess, across the country, into the national semifinals. Saturday college football. I'm really looking forward to Michigan and Ohio State, with the winner basically locking up a spot in the college football playoff. You've got, you know, more great action on Sunday with the NFL and the 2 CFL finals. It's like mind-blowing how great it's going to be.
It is. And that's, I don't understand, you know, the COVID side of things. This is because it feels like we're back to normal. Then all of a sudden we hear about COVID outbreaks with the New York Islanders and Ottawa Senators and this team and that team. I'm like, what? What? Thought we were done this. But anyways, Metal Shingle Guy writes this on the 902 text line. Well, a couple things. One, he says, looking forward to McRoberts getting a shot to play. Paul McRoberts drawing into the Saskatchewan Roughriders starting receiver group for the Western Semi-Final because of a torn Achilles to Ricardo Lewis, suffered last weekend. And Metal Shingle Guy says, and that's why it's the RP show. Great story. I assume he's talking about the Eddie Steele story that I didn't even really get into the details because we're up against it with time. But I'll just tell you this, Moose. For those that don't know, we got a lot of new viewers that didn't know that I did own a pizza restaurant, and a beautiful one, by the way. It wasn't some crappy deli like the Soup Nazi on Seinfeld. It was a beautiful place. Still is a beautiful place. We just don't own it anymore, downtown Regina. But quite often I would be standing behind the bar, serving people there, like Sam Malone in Cheers. This looked like a scene from Cheers. Eddie Steele walked in, and it was near my end of the time with the Riders. And I'm like, Eddie, you know, I'm not supposed to be talking to you. I'm not supposed to be talking to the Riders. And he's like, I don't care. I need your advice on something. And I said, maybe I would kick it around this hour, what it was. And without telling too much out of school, it wasn't a big deal, but they were jerking him around on money or just offering him a significant pay cut. And Eddie's like, I got a wife and a kid, and I can't play for this. And so we sat down and kind of put our ideas on the table and talked about those kinds of things. And then Eddie and I have always stayed close. But that was the one nice thing about that restaurant was the Rough Riders coming in there. And I felt like saying, if anybody finds out about this, I couldn't get away. I was pinned behind the bar. But wouldn't that make a great scene in your drama TV series about this show, Darren? Think about that. Think about that for a second. I'm sure your mind just flashed to that already.
It did. It did. Reminded me, I got a few things I got to put in that drama script that I haven't in a while, but that's one of them for sure. I mean, we will sit around some deli or some pizzeria and we'll have to, go through this script and add things to it. I mean, it's pretty wild. But yeah, that's one of those stories right out of a sitcom. Absolutely.
It's literally a scene from Cheers. Our poll question today, might as well keep it on topic. Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is, who wins Sunday's CFL Semi-Finals? The home teams, the road teams, or a split? And I'll just make it real simple. 40% on Twitter leading the poll. The home teams will win. Hamilton, Saskatchewan. But last hour, Eddie Steele picked Montreal and Calgary, the road teams, to win. I'm going to take Saskatchewan, Montreal, and that's out of the bag because I said it last hour. Did you make your picks yet for the games? If you did, I'm sorry, I forgot, or I didn't write them down, Moose.
I didn't. And I'm not going to go completely opposite. I'm going to take Saskatchewan and Hamilton to win the games. That's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take Saskatchewan and Hamilton. I think home field will play a role and a factor. So that's where my heart is and my head is at.
To the text line from Brady in Saskatoon. Hey, Rod, I got Calgary and Hamilton winning this weekend to advance to their respective conference finals. And Brady goes on to say, I'm a junior basketball assistant coach at Marion Graham Collegiate Institute for next season. And he also goes on to say on this date back in 1917, the NHL formed. Look at that, Brady, an absolute wealth of information, Moose.
Great stuff.
Bear with me, Brady, for a second.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. I need one hand loose. Yeah, I know. I need one hand loose
in the relaxed
to handle the microphone.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the relaxed mode, you need to hold the mic. I got you.
You get it. So I'm going to go to the big board and look at the viewer comments here. Ryan in Saratoga, New York says, Thanksgiving weekend in the States is one of the best weekends of the year for rivalry college football. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the best college game tradition is Army versus Navy. It's good, but I think if you talk to any school, they would say that their school's rivalry tradition is the best. From the General in Calgary says, I want everyone to pick Saskatchewan to put the curse on them. I don't know. Do you believe in curses? Did we not cover that a couple of weeks ago? I'm still not convinced whether I believe in curses or not. And the one thing that well, just one thing before you jump in on that. I don't miss having to make those picks. I mean, for those that I hope they remember, I would like to think they'd remember that I was the original writer for CFL.ca, the first writer they ever had. And I contacted Jamie Stein from the CFL. I said, you need a writer on the website, and that needs to be me. And he says, yep, I agree. And what turned out to where it is now, and over a spat with then Commissioner Jeffrey Orridge, I'm not writing for them anymore, as you recall. But you make those picks, right, And that's fine. Picks are picks, man. Most everybody was wrong in the Super Bowl last year. But what I hate is when the CFL teams go and screenshot the picks when they're all picked to lose and they put them, nah. I hate that. I hate that. Now, having said that, if I was them, I would probably do the exact same thing. But I'm just saying I don't miss being made to look like a fool after the fact for making a simple prediction, because the fact of the matter is nobody knows, Darren, how a football game's going to go down. If they did, there would be no need for betting.
You're right. Nobody knows. Nobody has a clue, how these things are going to play out. But that's what's fun about it, putting a prediction down and being confident about it and saying, there's no way that so-and-so is beating so-and-so. And that's why I'm picking here. They're so much better. And then all of a sudden, any given Sunday, right? We never know what's going to happen. But that's what's fun about it. And the teams have some fun with it too. And you know what? I hope it's all fun and games. Mostly it is. Sometimes it's not. But you did ask me something, or you did have a point before we got into that, and I don't remember what it was.
Me either. Can somebody write it down? We're such a couple of squirrels. Squirrels on meth.
No. You were talking about something. You're like, just before you jump in, and then we went in and pivoted into picks, and I'm like, yeah, not a clue could tell you what you were talking about.
It'll come up. From Ryan H. on YouTube says, this is a stellar FlameTech Football Friday. Having a blast today. Great show, guys. Tell your friends. Tell everybody that we're live every day at 12 Eastern on Game Plus TV, YouTube, or listen live. Mandy in Edmonton says, cool inside story from RP regarding the pizza place and Eddie. More of those kinds of stories would be appreciated. I will dole them out as deemed necessary. From Ryan in Saratoga, New York. I can imagine a long-time rider walking into Rod's pizza shop saying, hello, everybody, and the entire place yelling the first name of that player, like Norm on Cheers. Oh, it happened all the time. As a matter of fact, if you go into that restaurant now, they still have all my photos on the wall that I framed and put up there of our celebrity guests. Obviously you haven't been there since I sold it, but I'm like, if you're going to keep my photos of Luke Bryan and Nazareth and the Premier and Deron Carter and Chris Jones and all these guys that came in, the least you could do is give me 50% off, even though I don't own it anymore. You know what the guy said? No soup for you.
Oh, no.
William May, watching in Lloydminster, Canada's only border city, says, too much coffee, boys. No such thing. No such thing about too much coffee. No such thing as too much fun. Glenn Erickson, watching in Medicine Hat, he says, stamps by 15. Is there any scenario under which you could see that happening, Moose?
Stamps by 15? Yeah, for sure. Ooh. I could absolutely see that happening. There's a lot of paths to different things happening in this football game. That's why it's so unpredictable. If the riders make mistakes, the score could get out of hand. But it's the same the other way. If Bo Levi struggles a little bit, it could be trouble for them too. While I think this game will be close, there's an opportunity for it to slide one way or the other.
That's why they play the games, bruh.
Yes.
From Dave Haney, watching in Medicine Hat. I feel like we're very big in the Gas City. Dave Haney says the Fun Police will be patrolling Mosaic for the Western Semi-Final on Sunday and watching the U of S Huskies in the Uteck Bowl on Saturday. Go Riders and Huskies. Hope to see lots of happy green football fans this weekend. Let's take a timeout and return in a moment. And maybe before we say goodbye to Moose, mind you, he will be back for overtime, but maybe we'll announce the TacoTime comment of the week. We'll be awarding a $50 gift card today. We'll talk a little more curling. Our second hour of the program is brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer. They're also bringing you our curling coverage. Core Grain doing the right thing for your farm, and for the Delta Marriott downtown Saskatoon. Lots going on today, and I haven't even gotten to the bottom of this Carroll Williams thing yet, too, because you missed out on some of that talk last time. We'll be right back. You're watching a FlameTech Football Friday on YouTube Live, Game Plus TV, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
We're going to have to get the Moose to explain that shot from beautiful downtown Saskatoon, downtown. Tell me about Grind, Moose. Tell me about Grind.
Where I get my coffee in the morning. It's the new coffee shop attached to the Delta here, downtown Saskatoon. Open every morning. So they're great. They fill me up and looks great.
Delta Hotels by Marriott, Saskatoon downtown, surrounds you with one-of-a-kind views of the city of Bridges, no matter how you decide to enjoy it. Imagine yourself in the tallest hotel in Saskatoon, steps from all-season hiking paths that hug the banks of the South Saskatchewan River. Book your stay today. And also Saskatoon-based is FlameTech. And this is a FlameTech Football Friday. They are your locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. I love that our viewers have said that they've had such a great time today. And we got plenty of time left. On the way, Bubba O'Neil will be joining us from CHCH Television. But there's some business that I wanted to get through with you here, Moose, before we go too much further. Let's talk about the featured game, which invariably we're going to need to get sponsored. I don't care by whom, but it'll be a daily thing. Who's the featured game? But on Fridays, it was your idea. It's a twist.
Yep.
It's what's your featured game of the weekend. I put too much thought into this already, and it's about tonight. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the weekend. There's 13 games in the National Hockey League, and my featured game is not the Florida Panthers at the Washington Capitals. You'd think it would be. No, it's Jordan Eberle and the Seattle Kraken at the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight at Amalie Arena. I'll be watching that one on Bally Sports Sun, and then kind of getting a formulation in my mind for what the Kraken are going to bring in here tomorrow at FLA Live Arena for the battle against the Florida Panthers. When the Panthers go to break the record for the best home start in NHL history, we're going to be in the building. So I just want to pre-scout tonight. That's my featured game. And I might add that the Raptors are at Indiana. And who cares about that? Do you have a featured game, Moose? I have a feeling like you're going to go to the whole weekend, not just tonight.
I am. It is so tough. Patriots and Titans is a big one. The curling is huge, and that's why we're here, which is awesome. But we don't know who's going to be in those games in the weekend yet for certain. I want to say Michigan and Ohio State. That's huge tomorrow at noon Eastern. But I'm going U Sports, Huskies and Caravan on Saturday afternoon. That's my number one, top of the depth chart, U Sports National Semi-Final, the Uteck Bowl, Montreal, Saskatchewan.
Who's got it? Sportsnet?
CBC.
Ooh, how about that?
Yeah.
Bravo to CBC. Bravo to CBC for jumping on board with all this local sports coverage. What are they now? CHL, CEBL, University Sports. What is this, 1965?
They are the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and the actions meet the title. How about that?
Yeah, they should have never gone away. By the way, I'm going to turn it back over to the viewers here in a second in a TacoTime viewer takeover. Did you know that TacoTime's been around for over 40 years in Canada? This iconic brand and a Canadian favorite serves over 3.2 million burritos, 2.5 million tacos, and over 1 million Mexi fries every year. But how many taco salads? They don't say. We got to get to the bottom of that. I said that we were going to take care of some business. The Miami Dolphins are home to the Carolina Panthers in Cam Newton on Sunday. I will not be there. I'll be spending the day in South Beach, probably listening to the game on the radio. But you have your Week 12 NFL picks and Nelson's prop bet of the week. Darren, let's get into that if we don't mind. Darren Moose Dupont and the Rod Pedersen Show's picks of the week in the National Football League, presented by BetReal.net.
Well, I actually like Carolina in that game against Miami. I really do. But here's what I'm going with. I'm going with the Chargers -2.5 at Denver. Yes, they're going on the road. Tough place to play, tough climate. Denver's physical. But I think Justin Herbert, he's so electrifying. And I think, they go like this, the Chargers. They go up and they go down. And I feel like the Chargers are going up. So that's important. As I think, Rod, you getting the grass cut?
Yes, I am. Continue as you were.
Minnesota, +3.5. If you're giving me 3.5 points with Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, they're a playoff team right now. They're 500. They went toe-to-toe with the Green Bay Packers and won. Kirk Cousins is right in the middle of the quarterbacks. I heard this week, too. He's right in the middle, meaning if your team at quarterback is worse than Kirk Cousins, you probably need to find one. And if you're better than Kirk Cousins, you're probably okay. So he's right in the middle. He's the median of quarterbacks. Good enough to beat any team in the league, bad enough to lose to every team in the league. So it won't be convincing, but if you're giving me 3.5, I think Minnesota wins by a field goal. I like that over a struggling San Francisco team. And the Philadelphia Eagles, you got to watch out. I know they're in your division, Rod, and maybe you can tell me what you're feeling about them as a Cowboy fan, but they're electric. They move the football really well. Nobody in the last 7 weeks, I don't think, has had more rushing yards than the Philadelphia Eagles. If not, they're right near the top of the league in terms of rushing the football. They can stretch it out. So I really like the Eagles right now. I think they win by 6 or 7 over the Giants, and those are my picks. And Nelson's prop bet of the week looks like it's cut off, or we'll scroll up there. Cooper Kupp over 7.5 receptions. Yes, against Green Bay. I would take that as well, probably. Robert Woods isn't there. Odell Beckham only saw 2 targets in the last game they played, but they're coming off a bye. I would watch out for the Rams as well.
Rod Pedersen Show's NFL Picks of the Week for BetRegal.net. You asked me my thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles. I wonder if Darnell is watching from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, the biggest Eagles fan I know. They don't worry me at all. They got 5 wins. We got 7. And I told you earlier in the week that the Dallas Cowboys will be winning the NFC East. All we got to do is get healthy. And had we had our top 2 receivers and top 2 DNs last night, it wouldn't have been even a game against the Las Vegas Raiders. So not concerned about the Eagles, the Giants, or anybody else in that pathetic division. By the way, speaking of Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, our rock star yesterday was Devin Heroux. Man, people love them some Devin Heroux, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. Rockstar specializes in improving your company's performance and bottom line through supply chain management services. Check them out. Give them a follow on social media. Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. Boy, our business people are going to be really fun, Moose, as we are flying through these sponsor mentions here. Listen, I'm learning a lot of things about South Florida. They mow the lawn like every second day around here, man. That's how fast
Does the grass grow that fast? Yeah.
Shall I continue? Is it annoying? Is it bothering you?
No, but while we're just messing around here, I got a live studio audience now.
Yeah, who do we got? You going to show them?
That is,
Look at that.
That's Mom. That's Mom.
Look at that. Yep.
Mom and the Jug. Wave.
Hi, Paula.
Give a wave.
Hi, Jug.
There you go.
Like it.
That was a little fast.
I actually saw some people wrote in and said that they really enjoyed the photo of you and your dad at the curling. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
From the Puck and Pigskin podcast in Calgary, they say, are you trying out the new Manscaped lawnmower, Rod? No, that's a hard no, but somebody is over my shoulder here.
Look, no hands.
Oh, man. Yeah. Ta-da! I want to check back in. We've made our picks for this weekend's semifinals. I'd love to hear from the viewers what yours are. And you guys don't need to put up the graphic, but that's the poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center. Who wins this weekend's CFL playoff games, the division semifinals? And leading the way is the majority think the home teams will win. And not surprisingly, they are both favored. We've made our picks. Some of our analysts have made theirs. We got Bubba O'Neil coming up next from CHCH Hamilton to talk about his. From Ryan on YouTube, he says, Ryan H., he says, I thought that sound was the buzz for the CFL playoff. It's actually not that bad, Rod. That's good. I'm glad that you guys can all hear what I'm saying. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, how do they keep the grass green in Florida, Rod, or does it rain more than I think? It's rained like almost every day, Wayne. It is unbelievably green and lush. I know we just got you to get on YouTube, Wayne, but can I ask you to get on to Instagram and follow me at Rod Pedersen Official or the Rod Pedersen Show, Darren? Because you're getting some shots of South Florida where it is very green and very lush. And speaking of all of that, I just want your take again on Carroll Williams. For those that missed it last hour, I was at a dinner party last night. It was U.S. Thanksgiving. It was amazing. And one of the gentlemen there, Dan, came up to me and he goes, you worked at the CFL? I said, yeah. He goes, I went to high school with a guy, same high school, played in the CFL. He was a black quarterback. He was a stud down here, couldn't get an opportunity in the NFL. And he went and played in the CFL, and his name was Carroll Williams. And I said, never heard of him. Let's look him up. And Danpa, as he goes by, knew there was a special, unique spelling of Carroll Williams. We looked it up, and lo and behold, he had a Wikipedia page, and he played for the Alouettes, and he played for the BC Lions. And I'm like, why have I never heard of Carroll Williams? Shame on me. Shame on any CFL historians who overlooked this guy. And as Phil Kershaw wrote in, the former chairman of the CFL Board of Governors, he said, Bernie Custis broke the color barrier in 1951, well before Carroll Williams' time. And as I said, it's not a contest. These guys should all be recognized, Darren, because they couldn't get an opportunity in the National Football League. And I think it was Warren Moon was the guy who eventually, those other guys were just kicking on the door. Warren Moon eventually kicked the door down. And that was the end of the perceived slight against the black quarterback in the National Football League. At least that's my understanding of it. What's yours?
Yeah, it feels the same, because you always wondered, and then he comes in, has all this success, and you just, once Warren Moon came and had the success he had, you couldn't ignore it anymore. You couldn't ignore it. There was no excuse, and all of a sudden it opened up all these other opportunities. And as you say, Bob's your uncle, but I like that. It isn't a race. Yes, the one guy gets there first and breaks the door down, but they're all part of making a movement and creating positive change. So, it's fun that we learn about Carroll Williams in this show today.
Well, Mandy was saying, and you know this, Darren, because you're around me all the time. I literally have a million stories, and they just come. I don't plan them. So I'm at a Thanksgiving turkey supper last night, and this comes up. I remember driving to the base of the Camelback Mountain in Scottsdale, Arizona, a couple years ago. And I think I might have been wearing a Grey Cup ring at the time, maybe a Rider shirt or something, maybe a CFL. I think I was wearing a CFL shirt. And my driver, said, oh, you're in the CFL? I said, yeah. He goes, you got Johnny Manziel up there. I said, yes, we do. What do you think about Johnny Football? And then it spawned into this big discussion about Johnny Football. This was before he'd played in Hamilton or Montreal. And we were debating whether or not, he was going to do something. But I just think that people don't understand. And now that COVID's over, you're seeing I spent so much time in America before COVID, and now it's back. Or I'm back. COVID's not entirely gone. But I just don't think people understand the footprint the Canadian Football League has in America. And I think the CFL probably never fully cashed in on that, Darren. But maybe that would be a great weekend project for you. Skipper, how can the CFL cash in on the Americans' love for pro football and for the CFL? Because there's got to be a way.
No, there absolutely is a way, and there's value to be had there. But the issue, again, in making decisions, especially when you're going through struggles, and I like to be transparent and open and give people little nuggets about what we go through. But even like as a startup show, you have to make decisions, right? Based on growing for the future, what we need to take care of now, all these types of things. When the CFL puts effort and resource into, taking advantage of this great brand that they have in the U.S., it's not bringing people into the seats. And if they feel they're a gate-driven league, nobody's going to fly up from Nashville necessarily for this weekend's games. Yes, it does happen, and it will happen, but they're going to watch on TV. And when they watch on TV, you can gather that data, and the next cycle that goes around with your advertisers, you can charge more money, and they're going to bet online. And if they're betting online, they're going to be going to CFL.ca and SaskatchewanRoughRiders.com and not EdmontonElks.com, but whatever it is.
Go Elks.
So, but
Go Elks.
But the point is, you got to be paid.
And we lost the moose. Oh, and I'm guessing that's because Bubba O'Neil is probably logged in. No? Well, we'll take a timeout and come back and hopefully have Bubba O'Neil with us from CHCH Hamilton. And failing that, hey, we'll just jump into viewer takeover early, and I got a sports update ready to roll as well. You're watching a FlameTech Football Friday coming to you live from gorgeous and sunny South Florida on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
That's got to be the beautiful Delta Marriott downtown Saskatoon, where one half of the show is broadcasting from today on a FlameTech Football Friday. And as you can see, I'm in beautiful South Florida talking football. Dolphins home to the Panthers on Sunday as Miami looks to salvage their season against Cam and the Panthers. Big story here. We're going to Hamilton now. And Clint Bubba O'Neil, our good and longtime friend from CHCH television, joins us. He can talk NFL, he can talk CFL, he can talk U Sports, junior football. But this is where we're going to start, Clint. Good to see you, my friend. How's the buzz heading into the East? Yeah, how's the buzz going into the Eastern semifinal Sunday? Ticats, Als, how are you feeling about the game?
Well, it's been an incredible buzz, and you got to thank Patrick Levels for starting it so early with his trash talking of calling out every single player on the Tiger Cats roster, including head coach Orlando Steinauer. So that really got things fired up. And I think for the fans, the fans, they got this program going on where everyone's going to be dressed in black, and they did that in 2019, and it was just really something, amazing to see when you see 26,000 people all dressed in black. They got the Big Wreck doing a halftime show. But I think on the field, this is about as business-like as I've seen the Tiger Cats in some time. And I think those words by Levels, they were not affected by it because of their experience in 2019 and losing the Grey Cup to the Bombers, that there's a different type of focus, and that's a game at a time and move on from now. Because there's 3 steps to go. Obviously, there's still the Argonauts still to go in the East.
Well, Bubba, you've covered the Ticats all year. You covered them for a long time. How much of the 2019 season has been brought up at all publicly? And is that in the back of their mind as they are on the cusp of the playoffs here, wanting to atone for what happened in 2019?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it, and I think we learned the lesson early in the season after, week 1 losses in Winnipeg and a week loss where we got roughed up real good by your Riders in week 2. That 2019 team and this 2021 team are 2 completely different teams. There are some familiar names. There's Masoli, there is the Evans, there's Simoni. Those kind of guys have some familiarity on the offensive line, but there was lots of changes. And there's some new players that have really stepped up in in injury, and just some free agent signees that have really, really surprised. So yes, is the message, finish the job, I guess, from 2019? There's no doubt, but I think Rod, had you look back and there was a 2020 season, that 2019 feeling would have lingered over. But the fact that we had the lost season, I think it's a different focus. Do they remember losing? Of course. I don't know too many people that picked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to win that Grey Cup game, but they were embarrassed. And those that are remaining on this team certainly want to get there and have a second chance.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, listen, I know what it's like. The Riders hosted the Grey Cup in 2003 and 2013 in my time. They didn't get there in 2003. The pressure was immense. It was even more immense in 2013. And they got there and won, as you know, against the Ticats. How much talk has there been? Because COVID hasn't allowed people to gather and talk about these types of things as much. But how much talk has there been about the pressure of hosting the Grey Cup and the expectation of the Ticats to be in that game?
It's been over top of them like a dark cloud all season long, in my opinion. And you know this. You've been in the media for many, many years. You can ask the players and coaches that all day long, and they're going to say we're not thinking about it. Baloney. Of course they're thinking about it. It is something that we want to see. I mean, the Tiger Cats last won a Grey Cup, in 1990, 89, that around there. But you got to go back to the 72 season with Angelo Mosca, who recently passed, when they won the game against the Riders at Ivor Stadium. So they want to duplicate something like that. And I think it's a great story for the Tiger Cats, obviously, who haven't even hosted a game since 96. And I think, yes, of course, that's a pressure there. And I think the fans want to see something like that. Unfortunately, it won't be the big grandiose plans that they had planned for this 2023 because they've been granted the game again. But yes, there's no doubt, Rod, that's on their minds. How could it not be?
Oh, I know. I just haven't heard much about it brought up in the media and that kind of thing, nor in the Ticats interviews. But you bring up the Grey Cup week itself. Our plan was to be there, but now it's not because it's a scaled-down version. What can you tell us about the Grey Cup Festival, as you know, Clint, how this Grey Cup's going to look compared to the normal Grey Cup?
If I may say, and was lucky to be there in Calgary, who I thought put on a performance that I could remember that was really excellent in 2019, and the city was abuzz. Is it, can I say this is a playoff game on steroids? It's not going to be the big show. You got the Arkells playing, which I think is, a good local band, that have made big in Canada and, across the world. You just can't have the added seats. They're going to have about 35,000 in what is a 24,000 seat stadium. They are going to add a couple of extra seats, but it will be a scaled down Grey Cup. And you know what? I think if you're in the CFL right now, and I think for many CFL fans, you're just happy that this game actually went off this year. Because as you and I discussed way earlier in the year, in the spring, some of us didn't think there was going to be a season in 2021 as well.
No doubt. By the way, we have a viewer by the name of Dayton Greenway. He's in Swift Current, but he's dropped $10 on a super chat on YouTube. Writes in all caps, "Love me some Bubba. Go Cats." I don't know if the boys can put that up on the bottom of the screen to, in fact, prove what Dayton has said, but he's paid his money to get that comment read. I had to throw it out there. Listen, the Bills. Ooh, yes. WTF, man. How big of a punch in the mouth they took in Week 11. Your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills here as we are nicely into the second half?
Well, they really needed what happened last night. They needed that type of a rebound performance because they were humbled in front of their own fans. And I'll tell you, that building, you probably did not see that on the CBS broadcast, but the building probably 5, 6, 7 minutes into the third quarter cleared out. I mean, Indianapolis put a good whipping on them. And people forget that Indianapolis played the Bills very, very tight in the first round of the playoffs last year. So they came in there with a mission. And the Bills have shown this all season long. In fact, back-to-back seasons. Very good defense. Very tough, but they're light. And when they get pushed around a little bit by physical, big offensive linemen and big power backs, they struggle, right? Great at defending the pass. They turn over the ball incredibly high, at a high level, but they are light and rely on speed. So power teams tend to, give them a struggle. And when Josh Allen doesn't perform like he did in that game against Indianapolis, the result was exactly what you saw. They flipped the tables this way. I mean, the Saints are a banged-up team. They don't have their number one running back, they have their number one quarterback. But to go on the road and get a win like that in prime time was essential to rebound. So at least they get to have a day off today and then eat some turkey.
For sure. Great wrap. Bubba, always good seeing you, my man. Hopefully we can chat with you. Great Cup week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much. Great to talk to you. And hey, enjoying those curling trials. That's a lot of action going on out there. Very fun to watch this week.
There's a lot of stuff. The epicenter is in Saskatoon for sure. Thanks, Bubba. Clint Bubba O'Neil joining us from CHCH Hamilton. We've got overtime coming up. We'll award our TacoTime comment of the week in Viewer Takeover. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I'm proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Your family needs a break. Delta Hotels Saskatoon welcomes you to our newly renovated hotel and water park. You deserve a vacation close to home. Enjoy world-class hospitality and upscale surroundings. Rediscover Saskatoon. You can enjoy time away from home right in your own city. The kids will love the water slide. Delta Hotels Saskatoon downtown. All the essentials and then some.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful sunny day here in South Florida as we head into overtime. Proudly brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Seattle Kraken fan club. We're watching them play against the Panthers tomorrow. Wiki Moose.
Now the Rush
We're
are
live.
rolling and stuff. So. What's up, guys? Good. We're just on the air.
By the way, I'm glad that you brought that up, Moose. I have an email from your friendly neighborhood Saskatchewan Rush. Let me read it. As the Saskatchewan Rush enter their final weekend of training camp before the NLL face-off weekend, fans are invited to come see how the 2021-22 roster is shaping up before they take on Halifax next weekend. This weekend's training camp is being held at Henrik Rice Soccer Center in Saskatoon. Fans will be allowed access to the upper viewing areas of the arena, but meeting the team and autograph signings will not be permitted. We ask that all fans observe signage and respect team protocols to keep the public a safe distance from our players and coaching staff. Hank Rice Soccer Center on Primrose Drive in Saskatoon. Go watch the Rush. That's pretty cool that the Rush are doing that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very cool. So they're all staying here at the hotel. Been saying hi to them all this morning. They all want to know what's going on and where you are. So that's cool.
Sure they do.
But it will be fun. So they're down at the spot there in the Lawson area and a chance to go watch some lacrosse this week.
I tell you what, they get an NLL team in South Florida. I will be all over it.
Oh, I know.
But by the way, Taco Time viewer takeover. Real food, real value, real flavor. Taco Time. Cha-cha-cha. Let's do it. We got the comment of the week. We got to get a drum roll sound effect because we don't have one. A Rick Regan sound effect would suffice.
Let's go.
But guys, there you go. Let's throw it up. The comment of the week comes all the way from Salem, Oregon. Jeff Caldwell, and here it is. Actually, can you read it, Darren? I can't see it. I'm too squinty. Are you able to read it? You're the same.
Yeah, I can.
I guess I have some work to do. I had to look it up and found out there are There you go. Found there are 26 taco times
in Oregon.
How about that?
Oregon.
Awesome.
By the way. So, man, have we butchered this. $50. $50 US to Jeff Caldwell in Oregon. And so he's been traipsing all over the state. I feel like he's going to hit all 26 taco times. So we're going to help him out with that. Oh, there goes my ride. $50 gift card to Taco Time. Okay, and US dollar, we have not necessarily cleared that with Taco Time, but I'm sure they won't have a problem. So there is a hint for our viewers, Darren. I think if you want to win this thing in the years ahead, weeks ahead, go to Taco Time and post a photo and send it to us on the text line. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, if you do that, That greatly enhances your chances. If you make us laugh, tell us something we didn't know, post a photo, and if it includes TacoTime, even better. Those are all little inside hacks to winning gift cards here at the
Bingo!
Congratulations, Jeff Caldwell of Oregon, who watches the show on Game Plus TV. It's carried on TDS cable all across Oregon and the state of Washington. Let's do the MySask 411 Business of the Week, as we do every Friday in overtime. The MySask 411 Business of the Week is Countrywide Moving and Storage. Countrywide Moving is proud to be helping Saskatchewan families move and store their items with no stress for over 35 years. Whether it's a move across the province or across the country, Countrywide Moving moves your items quickly with complete care. Find them at MySask 411 today and call for a free quote. I got to tell you, who doesn't need a mover from time to time? That is the ideal business to be on the MySask 411 app. Again, I have it on my home screen. Download it today, MySask 411. It's a phone book in your hand. And if you live in Saskatoon, you need a mover, you would type in Saskatoon Moving, and Countrywide Moving and Storage would come up. There, our featured MySask 411 Business of the Week. And with that, Moose, we get close to shutting it down here on a FlameTech Football Friday. Our viewers really loved it. And that's what we do on Fridays. So we got a couple big weekends coming up here. Division Semi-Final Weekend, Division Final Weekend, and then Grey Cup Weekend. The viewers loved it, as you can tell today. It's been a lot of fun talking ball for all.
Oh, it's been awesome. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Can't wait. NFL Sunday, U Sports National Semifinals, curling, semifinals and finals, college football has big games. Michigan, Ohio State's the biggest. Oh, CFL Semi-Finals happening too. I can't wait.
I also want to invite our viewers to, over the weekend, sign up for our text community. You see the number on the screen, 902-518-3033. Every morning I get up and turn that phone on. We've got dozens of new contacts that have entered our text community, and we appreciate you doing so. Moose, you have a great weekend. Thanks for all you do.
Yes.
I know you've been busy. Enjoy the curling.
Have a great weekend. Text your photos. We'll get them in the Monday photo album.
Perfect. We will see you Monday, noon Eastern on Game Plus TV and here on YouTube on the RP Show.
He felt sorry for Mike Riley last night. Walking off the field, he looked so disappointed.
The show's over, Lynch.
And hurt. Oh, is it? Okay.
Stop talking football.
I like it. Let's go. How about that? Approved. Hot take. LFG. Oh no. Right on. How about that?